Hi, it's Maureen and welcome to this October bullet journal video. Since it's October, I decided to go with a Halloween witchy theme. I'm using the Bewitching stamp set, some inks, and Stampin Up markers in this video. This stamp set is from Stampin Up and can be found in the mini catalog. I will link the details below. This stamp set includes 6 images. There are hats, a spider, some stars, and witch legs with cool looking boots. These stamps can also be used for card making and scrapbooking. But for today, I'm going to be using them in my bullet journal. I'm also going to use these Stampin' Up markers and some other fun markers and a pencil, and I'm going to link all of this below so that you can find it. This stamp set also has a coordinating punch, and I'm going to use the hat to do some masking in my plan today. But let's get started. I'm going to start using the Memento ink to ink up this really cool witch hat. I love that it has like the polka dots on it, and I'm going to stamp it right in the middle of my book. What I'm going to do next is stamp the witch's legs. So this is where the masking comes in handy. I'm going to cover up that witch hat so that when I stamp the legs, it will look like they are peeking out from below the hat. There we go. I'm going to add some color to this hat. I'm going to use my gorgeous grape, which is purple, my pumpkin pie, which is orange, my parakeet party, which is a green color for the hat. And I'm just going to color those dots in and color the band and even these stripy tights that go with the witch's legs. I'm going to pull in my Daffodil Delight marker and color in the buckles on the boots. And now she's looking quite jazzy. So I am going to write October at the bottom using the Parakeet Party marker. I love this bright green. It just makes this whole page pop. So I'm just writing October out at the bottom. And then I am going to get ready to write a quote. I like to try and find quotes that sort of mean a lot to me or fit my theme. So since it's October and I'm thinking of witches and witchcraft and magic, I thought I would find a quote that has to do with magic. So the quote that I am going to write is, "Magic is really very simple. All you've got to do is want something and then let yourself have it." I think it's the perfect quote. And this quote comes from Halloween Town, which is a movie that I used to like to watch a lot with my children. I think there are 3 movies for Halloween Town. So if you haven't watched that, you need to go find it. It comes on every Halloween and it's really good. And it stars Debbie Reynolds. And Debbie Reynolds is actually Carrie Fisher's mother from Star Wars. So you should check it out if you haven't. It's a good movie. But anyway, back to my quote. When I'm writing quotes, one of the things I like to do is to vary the fonts. So I like to have some words that are big and some words that are small. I always write my big words first because I want to make sure that they're going to fit the page. And then after I write my big words, I go back and write the small words in there. Of course, I do practice this on a piece of scrap paper before I get started just so that I can get a sense of how it's all going to look. But I wanted some words to pop out. So magic, something, yourself. So kind of like magic is something for yourself. It's kind of what pops out, but then I added in the rest of the quote. And you can see it here. Once this quote is done, I am going to add some more decoration to the page. So it takes a little bit of time. One of the things that I think about when I'm writing a quote is trying to make sure it all fits and trying to center it. So it's kind of centered, not totally centered, but it's okay. I'm going to go with it because I'm not going to erase it and start over. But there we go. There's my quote. And now I am going to ground that witch with her legs there and add a spider to the top. I like the way he hangs down like that to give it a little spooky feel. And then I am going to use my parakeet party and add some stars around just to make the page look a bit interesting. Next, after this, I'm going to jump on over and start my calendar. So now I have my calendar set up, and I'm going to start off with the witch's hat. And for this witch's hat, I stamped it in Memento again, and I am going to color that in. But first I want to stamp my witch's legs at the bottom, and you can see how I use that piece of paper so that again those witch's legs, my witch legs, could kind of peek out from behind the calendar. So now I'm just adding my lines in, trying to keep my face out of the frame, which is so hard when you are trying to make a calendar. But yeah, so if my nose pops in there, forgive me. I think it's a cute nose, so it's okay for it to pop in. But anyway, so I'm creating my calendar here. I like my calendar for my calendar page to start on a Sunday. My weeklies, I like for them to start on a Monday, but my calendar, I just love when it starts on a Sunday. So here I am coloring in my witch's hat. This one is Parakeet Party again. Nice and green. Again, this is such a beautiful color for Halloween. It's bright, it's happy, and I'm all about things that are happy. So I'm coloring this in, and then I'm going to color in the band of the hat, and I'm going to color that in black. But here you can see I'm going over parts of the hat, trying to give it some definition there, and so that some of the color looks darker and deeper in some places. So I'm trying to just make it look more real instead of just all one tone. So now my band is all colored in nice and black. I'm going to pull out my alphabet stamps and stamp the days of the week. And like I said, I like for my calendar to start on a Sunday. So I started with Sunday there, and then since I had the S in my hand, I decided to stamp the Saturday. And I'm sort of just picking them up randomly, and whichever one I'm holding, that's the one that's getting stamped. Sometimes I lay them in order to make it easier for myself, but I thought, I'm just going to pick them up and put them where they belong. So now I'm coloring in the witch's boots, using that Daffodil Delight again to color in the buckles, and then I'm going to color those tights with the Parakeet Party and with the gorgeous grape. There we go. And I'm going to write the numbers in for the calendar. And I really enjoy setting up for October. October is a fun month. It's one of my favorite seasons because it's leading right into all the holidays. But I love decorating for Halloween. And I had just as much fun creating my plan here. I am adding a drop shadow now using Tombow marker. It's an N something. I will link that I'll link that below as well so that you can find that one. And now I'm pulling out that spider stamp again and adding a spider to the bottom of my calendar. And now I am going to write October on the side, and I'm going to use stacked letters. I really like the way this looks when you can stack them on top of one another. I've seen Riley, I think her name is Riley Autumn. She does a lot of stacked letters, and I kind of copied that from her because I like how it looks. Makes it more interesting. And also changing the colors makes it interesting too. So having that pumpkin pie and then that gorgeous grape and then the Parakeet Party on top of each other looks really cute together. And here I'm just adding in the stars to make it nice and cute. And my spiders. With the spiders, I'm making some longer or up higher and down lower just to make it look more interesting and not have them all be the same height. I always like to include a gratitude page or a one line a day type page. So here I'm setting up my gratitude page. It's not going to be anything too fancy. I'm going to number it from 1 to 31 for the 31 days of the month. And each day I'm going to write down something that I am grateful for. So with my Parakeet Party marker, I am drawing a line across for every other day. And that just helps me so that when I'm writing down my things that I'm grateful for, it helps me to kind of stay in the line. It makes it easier for me not to go below the dots. So now I'm just going to write gratitude at the top. I'm going to be adding some spiders and some stars at the top. And I'm just going to be quiet for a moment and let you watch me work. Now I'm going to get started with my currently page. I got this idea from Raksha. She has a YouTube channel called Reflections with Raksha, and she creates a page where she writes what she's currently thinking of or currently reading, currently watching, learning, enjoying. So what I'm doing is I stamped a hat in the center of the page. That's kind of the focal point. And on each of these little spokes or wheels here, I'm going to be writing in things that I am currently doing. So one section says watching. So things that I'm watching, I'll add there. Things that I'm reading will go in that box. Things that I am learning will go there. And I'll be adding that throughout the month. It's just a great way to reflect back on the things that you've been doing that month, within that year, and then you can, it just kind of brings back good memories. So I do like doing this page. I don't always do it, but it's something that I like to incorporate every now and then. So this is a currently page. And I'm actually going to write the word currently at the top. Don't do it in the video, but I'll post that somewhere so that you can see how I added the word currently, just to kind of give it a heading or a title. And now I am stamping the witch's hat. And this is for my dashboard page. With my dashboard, it's kind of like a page that you keep track of all the things that you need to do this month. So on this page, I'm going to create sections for things that are important for this month. So I am going to have a section for stamping. So if there's cards I need to stamp for someone, or just anything that has to do with stamping, because I do a lot of card making, I will add that into that section. I have a section that I'm creating for home, and within that box I'll write the different things that I need to take care of in the house, whether it's something that needs to be fixed, something that needs to be cleaned, anything that has to do with the home will go in that section. And then I have another section where I am going to add shopping and errands, and for that, like, this is not really like a grocery list, but if I need to pick up something like some bins for something, then I will add that there. But here I want to talk about this stencil. So this is another thing that I got from Raksha. It's a calendar stencil that she has for sale on Etsy. She makes them every year, and it's a great easy way to put in your habits or your moods. So I can trace around that for the month, and I'm tracing in the October section. There's a section for every month, and you can purchase it to start with your month, to start on a Sunday or for it to start on a Monday. And she has those options available. So I chose for mine to start on wait, what is that one? I think these are Sundays. Yes, mine starts on Sunday because I wanted to keep that to go along with how I do my calendar. And it's a cool thing that she has. It's really easy to purchase on Etsy. She probably will have some available soon for 2023. So you want to check her out before she sells out, because I don't think she continues to make them all year long. So here I am writing dashboard at the top, and I am writing on my little parakeet party hat mood, because that's going to be my mood tracker. And then at the bottom, I'm going to keep track of my habits. So for my habits, I really only have two things that I'm looking at. Um, the more habits I have, the less I do. So I try to just have a few. So for my habits for this month, I'm going to look at my cooking, trying to cook more regularly at home, and then also fitness, trying to make sure that I continue to walk. I was really good with my fitness in the summer, but once school starts and I'm back at work, it's really hard to make it all fit in. Here I am putting the finishing touches on my witch's hat with the witch's legs, coloring in those dots, coloring in the band. I'm also going to color in those stockings and make it look just like the witch that was on my title page or cover page. So next I'm going to add my headings for those sections that I talked about. So my stamping, my home, my shopping and errands, and then at the bottom, contacts. Sometimes I forget to reach out and call some people that are important to me, but if I write it in there, it helps me remember to do it. So I'm writing in my cooking and my fitness for my habits at the bottom. I'm adding a drop shadow using that same Tombow marker that I am going to add in the details for you so that you can find it there. And then putting my finishing touches on with the stars. I'm going to add stars in different colors. So I have my parakeet party, my gorgeous grape, and then my spiders. I like spiders in a book, but not in real life. So I'm having fun stamping them here in the book, but please don't put one in front of my face because I would not like that at all. Okay, and I'm just finishing this up, and we are coming down to the home stretch. I have one page left. So this is my weekly. I'm going to get set up with just one weekly right now, and I think I'm going to stick with this same format throughout the whole month. So here what I'm doing is I'm doing 7 rows using that same Tombow marker. And at this top section where I'm making these, where I'm coloring in the lines, that's going to be for my events. So things that are happening, if I have something scheduled, like if I have a dentist appointment, I'm going to be writing that at the top. If I have a meeting, I'll write that at the top. And then the bottom section is going to be for tasks. And for my tasks, those are like the lists of things that I have to do during the week, and I will add those things there. So I'm going to add my witch's hat and those witch's legs and boots again, and color that in really quickly as well. At the top, you can see that I'm adding the dates in, and once the dates are all in, I am going to add events to the top. So now I have my events at the top, I have my tasks at the bottom, and I'm just going to quickly write the days of the week along the top here. And for the weekend, I'm just going to write Saturday and Sunday. And now I think we're ready for the finishing touches. I'm going to write October at the top. And then I'm going to finish this off by adding some stars and adding more spiders at the top of the page. I'm adding some of the Daffodil Delight to the buckles so that we can get our witch all set and make her all spruced up. And I am finishing this page up, and I want to thank you for joining me, and I ask that you please hit the thumbs up and subscribe so that you can get alert for more videos. And I hope to try and post some more things more frequently. So thanks again for joining me. This is my October plan. I'm finishing this up, getting all my stars on here, and I'm just so excited to share this with you. Don't leave yet. I still want to do my flip through so that you can look at all of the finished pages here. Looks like my spider needed some extra help there, so I have some of the legs didn't come through when I stamped, so you just pull out a marker and write them in, and there you go. And now to the flip through. Thanks again for joining me, and I'll see you again next month.